Am I the asshole for telling the girl who kissed my boyfriend for a play that she's desperate and pathetic? I, 19 female, study drama at uni, and my boyfriend is on the same course. My boyfriend is a really good-looking guy, but he doesn't seem to know it. He gets a lot of attention from girls, and for the most part, he doesn't even get that they're flirting with him. And honestly, I'm not generally annoyed by this, so I never say anything. However, there's this one girl in our class, let's call her Victoria, who is obsessed with my boyfriend. She goes out of her way to be paired with him in group activities. For example, if the professor picks groups by numbering us by 3, she will literally move herself to be in the same number as him. The most pathetic thing she's done so far is that she literally stepped down from a main role in a play just so that she could be a more minor role simply because the character has a romance with my boyfriend. And I know this is the case because I've heard her say to her friends that she thinks that he's hot and whatnot. I've never said anything to her about it because she seems pretty insecure. She's always complaining about how she thinks she's ugly. And I don't see it as a big deal because my boyfriend really doesn't care. However, we recently performed the play and had a small after party where she got pretty drunk and was bragging about how she definitely felt something when they kissed in the play and she's going to ask him if he felt the same. I was pretty annoyed and rolled my eyes, but I ignored it until the point that she actually went up to my boyfriend. Like I said, she was pretty drunk, and when she went up to him, I was right there too. Victoria started saying that she knows that he must have felt a spark because he's a really good kisser. At this point, I snapped and shouted at her, "Wow, you sound incredibly desperate going after someone else's boyfriend. And you're pathetic if you think a stage kiss means you should be together." She looked super embarrassed and walked away, and I later heard that she went home crying. I'm a nice person, so I kind of feel like a dick because she's obviously insecure and whatnot. And her friends haven't stopped calling me a bitch ever since. So am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for wearing the joke bikini my friend got me? So it was my birthday a couple of months ago. I had a party and I got some gifts. My friend Mandy got me a super cute bikini. I liked it, said thanks, and she had ripped the tags off, but whatever. Anyway, I went to the community pool with my roommate, wore the bikini, got in the water, and my roommate immediately says, girl? I look down and see that the bikini is now kind of see-through. Haha, good joke, Mandy. Anyway, Mandy invited me over to her place to hang out with her and her boyfriend and a few others. Most of the other people leave and we were still hanging out. I was like, what if we get in your hot tub? She thought that was a good idea, so we all went to change. I met her boyfriend in the hot tub while she was getting drinks. I hopped in and immediately he's looking at my chest. I pretended like I didn't notice and just made small talk. She comes out a few minutes later and just looks in shock. Eventually, she gets in. She asked, is that the one I bought? I replied, yeah, I love it. I wear it everywhere. Then I made up a story about how I wore it to the beach to some party with lots of guys, etc. She was just like, oh. So we're talking in the tub for about 20 to 30 minutes. Eventually, we get out and change back to our regular clothes. She approached me after and was like, I'm sorry, I thought you'd notice, but the swimsuit gets kind of see-through when you get in the water. I was like, yeah, I know. Why'd you buy me a freaking see-through bathing suit? She's all, it's a joke. Wait, you knew? So you just spent the last 30 minutes flashing my boyfriend on purpose? I replied that I'm just wearing my birthday gift from her, so I didn't think she would mind. So yeah, I know I flashed her boyfriend on purpose, but does that make me the asshole? He stopped calling me beautiful. It happened gradually enough, but a woman always notices. At first, it was subtle. He started spending longer hours at the gallery, rushing through dinner, going straight to bed. We no longer spent hours talking about the world, our hopes and dreams. He stopped asking me to pose for his work. The passing of time was merciless on my skin, my figure. One day I was sitting on the floor poring over old photographs he had taken of me. Every single shot was a masterpiece. Every set told a story. He had this way of capturing an instant, a fragment of time, a glance, an emotion, a fashion. I often sat like this, staring at his work for hours. He came home early that day, catching me eyeing that very first candid that he did from his amateur days. "You looked so beautiful, honey," he said. Despite myself, I hoped he would leave then. I didn't want to be emotional, to break down in tears. I was stronger than that. He had no idea, though, how it felt to hear those treasured words spoken in the past tense. He never saw the efforts I went through to keep my skin clear, to keep my body trim, the injections, the hours spent at the gym, the fad diets, the subsequent eating disorders. I would have done anything to be his muse again. Anything. I would have done anything to be his muse again. Anything. But at 30, I could never compete with the sluts he photographed for work. 18-year-olds with naive eyes, slim waist, and a will to be seen, to be sought by the agents, the world, by him. He stopped calling me beautiful shortly after the third girl went missing. The cops kept showing up at his gallery, interrupting photo shoots, preventing his international business trips. When 6 young models go missing after working with the same photographer, well, let's just say the media take notice to that sort of thing. He never asked me outright, but I caught him digging around in my things, snooping my phone, etc. They'll have a warrant for his arrest any day now, and he's scrambling to find any proof of his innocence. He'll never find it, though, because he isn't innocent. He's not innocent of neglecting me, of making me feel lesser than. He didn't sleep with them, but he cheated every single day he captured their sweet young faces and mesmerizing vulnerability. When he accepted critical acclaim for portraits that weren't me. They'll find Stacy's underwear buried between the throw cushions of the sofa at his gallery. Soon after, they'll find Rebecca's keys, Charlotte's watch, and other mementos hidden underneath a floorboard in the back office. One day, they may even find their decapitated bodies in the river by our favorite picnic spot, but they'll never find their heads. I have those tucked away for a photo project of my own. They let you receive postcards in prison, right?